It needs to be a new amendment because technology now has outpaced, in my opinion, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. And the only way we can ever push back and protect the world and humanity from all of these threats is to protect free speech. And it is not protected the way they are giving the perception. And the fact that they're all together now, it's only people have short memories. People have tick-tock brain. There's many laws that should have been repealed already that haven't been, like the Patriot Act. You're talking about surveillance. Now knowing that all these wars that were started on false pretenses. How do you think I felt as a 19-year-old? We're going to go to Afghanistan, this is George Bush, and we're going to take out the Taliban. Here we are 24 years later. They're still in power, more armed than ever. We've been paying them billions of dollars. Explain that to the firefighters that died that day. Explain that to the citizens of New York City. Explain that to the cops and the Port Authority and the civilians that were told by the EPA, by Christine Todd Whitman, that the air in Lower Manhattan was safe. They lied to me. I led a protest after the buildings fell because I knew something was wrong. And they said, look, all the charts, the air is safe. You guys are safe. 10 years later, there's a multi-billion-dollar fund, like there will be one day probably for these nice things everyone put into their arms without questioning. Stupidity. I don't feel bad for them because they made people like me go through hell. And all I was trying to do was say, yo, slow down. Because once you put it in, you're not getting it out. Be careful because the zero-sum gain is really small because it doesn't stop you from getting it. And if you've already had it, what are you going to gain by putting it in you except you don't know what it does to you long term? And guess what? Not looking so stupid anymore, am I? Rachel Maddow should be charged with crimes against humanity. Okay? When you get it, no one else can get it. Lie. How many friends and family I have that have serious issues today because they trusted an agency? The EPA told us the air was safe after 9/11. 10 years later, there's a multi-billion-dollar World Trade Center fund. I'm eligible because I was still a student in the aftermath. Okay, thank God I'm okay. I'm not sick, so I don't need to file a claim. Thousands and thousands of more people have died after what happened in New York City after September 11 than died in the buildings trusting a three-letter agency. You think I was going to trust these clowns again when it came to what happened in 2019? Oh, it's safe. Oh, we'll give you a cheeseburger too if you take it, like Mayor de Blasio. Take it. Oh, there's there's fries. Like, how fucking stupid are you people, bro? Wake up. It's shameful, bro. We live in a world where you're being dumbed down. The same weapons that were created to unify humanity are also destroying and dividing humanity. These are weapons of mass envy and mass destruction to the brain. We have 20-second memories. Lab leak. What three-letter agency last week said, yeah, it was a lab leak? Oh, but no, we were crazy. No, I like to think, man. I like to stop. Wait, hang on a second. They want me to put this thing in my arm. Do I get, can it stop me from getting, no, because I know when I take a polio shot, which I have, so people go, oh, you're against, no, I'm not. I have that shot, I have that shot. Okay, now I don't trust any of them anymore. But I know when I took that shot, I'm not going to get polio. I could jump into an ocean full of polio and I'm good. That's how you get polio, in water. But you couldn't give me the same proof. I could put you in a box with someone that had the same sickness that they were trying to save us from, right? You still get it. So what did you gain? You know how many people I've met now? Tell me you haven't met them yourselves. I wish I never got it. I didn't gain anything from getting it. I've never been the same since I took it. There's millions of people.
Yeah, I actually lost friends.
Okay.
They died the
I
night
did too.
of. Yeah.
Okay, I met a guy, I'll never forget. I went for an eye test. The guy had a patch. He's like, the minute I took it, I lost my eyesight. But I swear to God, if I'm lying, at my optometrist, he lost his eyesight. My friend Jill, her brother had a stroke. She lost her arm movement. Okay, these are two people I grew up with. I'm not making this up. This is not some story on the internet.
Did they get any money? I bet you not.
What money? Forget that. What about our families we lost? If the three-letter agency is admitting that it was a leak from that lab, now you know why Fauci has a pardon. Pardon without even being accused of a crime yet.
Don't worry, he's being investigated now.
He can be investigated all he wants, man. My point is this.
That won't bring back the dead people.
You lost your family, but shame on the people that forget their family. I lost a cousin, God rest his soul. Agran. First week, dead. You don't want justice for your families? You don't want answers for why your son, your daughter, your husband, your wife, why they lost their lives since 2019? They don't deserve justice? If you came home and found them in a pool of blood, you wouldn't demand the one that took their lives? Yet you're looking at them every day on TV, every day. You're cheering for them. I saw people painting murals of the people that took your family's lives in New York City. That's how sick the world became. I don't care if I lose my life. I have spoken my truth and what I have seen. I know the difference between a man and a woman. We can start there anytime you want. Wake up. Wake up. We're not your enemies. You guys have been programmed, man. Like completely programmed. Now, I could get it if I'm like, oh, MAGA hat. No, I support because I had, who else am I going to support?
Yeah, there are no options. Well,
But who am I going to support?
I went to New York and they actually, during the pandemic, and they said you can't eat here because you don't have the papers.
Oh, I almost beat
Are
that
you
up. I almost went to
kidding me?
jail. That happened to me.
I had to eat hot dog from
The best
street
part of
because
that-
I couldn't eat, go inside of a restaurant to eat.
The best part of that was the guy wasn't even here legally in the country. So I walk in, he's like, sir, you must have a paper. I said, my man, how long have you been in America? I'm like, sir, how long have you been in America? He's like, 2 years. I said, I know you're not even a citizen. You don't even have a green card. I said, you're going to ask me for health documents. You're not even here legally. I said, either you give me my cheeseburger or I'm going to beat the fuck out of you.
Jeez.
Just like that. It was at, I forgot what diner on 34th Street, 23rd Street. I said, let me tell you how beautiful this is. Because of how they run New York City now, I'll be out in a half hour because they let criminals out right away, no bail. I'm going to come back here and beat the fuck out of you again. So you want to make me my cheeseburger or do you want to see if I'm lying? My cheeseburger was on my table. He probably spit all over it, but for America,
You still
man.
ate it.
For America, for freedom. It was like upside down world. I swear to God, we were living in a dystopia in that city. I'm viral for having the video that says, when are you going to wake up? It doesn't matter if you're left or right. Everyone thinks Donald Trump is Jesus Christ, and he's not. And even if he was, the amount of corruption that has seeped into America, it does not matter who sits in that office. And 4 years is not enough to fix it. I'm not left or right. I try to be right.
Now I have a more difficult question for you. If you want to look over this, it comes from the European Parliament, and it's a wave of Muslim cases across Europe. And I quote, Europe is currently being overwhelmed by a wave of committed by Muslim migrants, particularly in Scandinavian countries, you know, like the UK and all that, England, Sweden. What are your thoughts on that? I don't know if you want to
I don't know.
look over.
My thoughts are very simple.
As a Muslim man, what is the advice
As a
you would
Muslim
give
man,
these?
I don't have to justify or defend this.
How do you stop these people from doing that?
Okay? Because first of all, to do that to a woman or a child is punishable by death in Islam. They stone them to death. That's number one.
Yet they're not even
My
going to
question
jail
is,
in UK.
forget the foreigners. Forget them. How do you guys as Christians justify the Anglican Church? The Anglican Church, right now, the head, covering, okay, within the church, within England, all the molestations that were happening from their own clergy or from the Roman Catholic Church that
stick to my
everyone...
question.
But my point is, when you can tell me how they justify it, as they've swept it under the rugs, then come talk to me about some sick people, because it's not fair. What you're doing, in my opinion, is gaslighting. And I'm going to be very
Well, I
honest
still
with
want
you.
the answer. Like,
Yeah,
how can
I don't need to justify.
America
That's not...
prevent this from
Were
happening
those
here?
priests Christian? If those priests molested children and boys at that, a lot of those priests went with boys. Were they being Catholic or Christian? I'm asking you, yes or no?
First of all,
I know you're
Catholics
Orthodox.
are Christian.
I understand. I'm asking
Catholics
you.
are Christian.
Under the
They're not two
overall
different things.
overall branch of Christianity, were they being Christian? These are clergy people. Forget regular citizens. Were they being Christian? Yes or no?
It doesn't. What
I'm
we're
asking
trying to
because
do
I'm
here-
trying to answer your question. You shouldn't even have to answer. The answer should be no, they were not being Christian. You can't be
Yeah,
a
yeah,
rapist. Okay, so there's your answer. You cannot be a Muslim and molest kids or women. You will be punished by death in Islam. There's not a single Muslim country.
So what you're saying is they should be punished by death.
By death. Not only
the
there,
UK.
in America, everywhere. You rape a woman, you kill a kid, they have to live with that trauma the rest of their life. They should be executed publicly. That's how you make the other ones fear. That's why I love what Vitali's doing. Shout out to Vitali, man. He reinvented himself. He's like one of them streamers. He got arrested 1 million times streaming, you know, the World Series. I feel no obligation to speak on behalf of them because, in my opinion, that's an oxymoron. A Muslim rapist, a Muslim terrorist. You cannot be a Muslim and be a rapist.